with St. Mark, Luke. I believe their testimonies. I believe what they wrote. Not because an early Christian scholar said so, but because reading their testimony, it resonates with me spiritually. Good. And that's why I believe it. Now, I don't base everything that I believe on evidence. People say that they have evidence there's a flat earth. People say that they have evidence that there's a globe. Evidence.
Let's not talk about other people.
No, but I'm just
talk
saying.
about yourself.
I'm just saying, when you try to focus on things that man say that they can prove with God, with God's work, that's where I believe we get in trouble.
Okay, you know what? This is what I've told you. I don't know, I think I'm repeating myself like the 5th or the 6th time, and you still have missed the point.
That's what I believe.
Make him believe.
The important thing is this, look, what I believe clearly in your case is a circular reasoning. I don't know if you understand.
You're entitled to believe that.
Well, no, I'll tell you why I believe that, okay? And in fact, I don't only believe this, I know it because you have repeated yourself several. You said you believe in the testimony of St. Mark based on no manuscript evidence. Yes? You believe in Matthew, Luke. In fact, Luke wasn't even an eyewitness. Luke never met Jesus Christ. Yes? Do you know that?
He was a scribe of one of the disciples.
Of the?
One of the disciples.
Which disciple is that?
He says it.
Which? He was a student of Paul. Paul wasn't a disciple.
How can Paul not be a disciple? So what was he?
Let's not sidetrack.
Can you tell me how Paul was?
Has Paul ever met Jesus in his life, in flesh?
On the road?
Has he met him in flesh?
On the road
Or did he
to
see
Damascus.
a daydream?
So, because he didn't meet Jesus in the flesh,
Yes, how can he be a disciple?
you're saying he's not a disciple.
How can he be? You tell me.
A disciple is anyone who follows Jesus Christ. Now, especially,
Disciples in the context of the scribes.
I believe.
Wait a minute.
Paul. I believe
We are talking about eyewitnesses here. Yes?
Eyewitnesses.
If Paul didn't see Jesus in flesh and he saw it in a dream, for you that is testimony, right? So anyone who dreams anything, yes, he's going to accept that testimony.
No, it's not true.
Then answer me, how is it possible to accept the testimony of someone who never saw Jesus?
You say he never saw Jesus, but he says he did.
In a dream?
He said he saw Jesus in a vision.
Which is a dream. A vision is just another word for vision. Dream.
Listen, I've never heard of an account of someone having a dream and then being blinded by that dream in real life. Have you ever heard that in your entire life? I believe there are certain
Have you
things-
actually researched the whole world?
Wait a minute. I'm just telling you.
Because if you listen to some of the dreams
I'm just telling
and some of the testimonies of some of the Hindus, you'll be baffled, man. Forget about the light coming.
anyone
They'll actually
here-
see
So let's
much more miraculous things
Let's
than
take
that.
a poll. Anyone here?
No,
have you
don't take
ever
a
heard-
poll. No,
have you-
don't take a poll.
Have you ever heard anyone being blinded by something that they saw in a dream? Have you ever heard that?
You know what? Have you heard?
No, you haven't.
Wait. Have you heard of the story of Buddha? Have you heard of the story of enlightenment?
I'm not talking about Buddha right now.
Because you haven't heard of it. That's why.
No.
You asked me a question. I'm telling you.
I'm just asking
Buddha
you a
was
question.
enlightened. Wait a minute.
You just said,
Bro, you asked me a question,
No,
I'm answering you.
No, you answered with another question.
No, I didn't.
Did you answer the question?
Yes, I will.
No, you didn't answer the question.
Okay, allow me to answer.
You're answering
Okay,
with
listen
another
to
question.
this.
Like you
Buddha,
said to my brother
listen.
a minute ago.
If you
Don't answer my question with another question, and now you're doing it.
Okay, wait. Buddha, when he was enlightened, he was blinded by the light of enlightenment. So based on the evidence, based on the testimony, like, you know what blinded means? Blinded doesn't mean that you lose your vision. Blinded can be.
In Paul's case, it was.
Wait, was he blind physically?
He was physically blind.
Okay, for 3 days.
Thank you.
Okay, wait. So there are different accounts in the Gospels. In some, the people along with Paul, yes, never heard the voice, yes, but only saw. They heard the voice but did not see. But Paul saw, did not, and heard the voice as well.
Yes.
So we are getting different testimonies from the same event. Am I right? Now, whom do we believe? Do we believe the people who were along with Paul, who gave a different account to that encounter, or do we believe Paul? So we have different contradictory accounts. And when you have a contradictory account in any testimony, in any court of law, you know what they do with that kind of testimony? They throw it out. Okay. So now you're wait.
Let's explore that. Shall we?
Explore what?
Just the what
I'm
you just
asking.
said. What
You
just
already said it was in a vision.
Wait a minute. Let's just explore.
Does any court of law believe in a dream as a testimony?
No.
No.
Listen.
But here, Mr. Othman
Wait a
is
minute.
saying
Wait a
it is
minute.
okay to believe a person who is dreaming.
It's
And he,
important.
by the way, it was his.
It's important you don't twist my words because I can speak for myself. And if you don't understand, I'll be happy to clarify.
Okay.
Let me clarify because you are clearly misrepresenting my words. So I'd like
Which
to
part
clarify.
did I misrepresent?
Let me tell you. What I'm saying is that Paul Paul testified, said that he saw Jesus Christ, and where you say it's a dream, I say it's a vision. He says it's a vision. That was his testimony.
So only Paul's testimony, right? It's only his words.
That was his testimony. Now there were people next to him who said that they saw something also
Different.
When
They said they did not hear, but they saw. In another gospel, it says the other way around.
Sure.
So which gospel is the true one?
I believe that Paul was having that vision, and Paul only had that vision, and that's why he was.
So it's
writing.
only Paul's words, right?
Well, that was his testimony.
So in other words, when Jesus says in John 10:30 that if I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. Even Jesus' testimony is not true. So what grounds have you got to believe in Paul's testimony?
What do you mean? Say that again.
Read John 10:30.
No, just
Sorry,
paraphrase.
John
It's
5,
fine.
not John 10:30. John 5:30.
You can paraphrase. It's fine.
I just told you. I said Jesus says, if I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. What do you understand by that?
Well, he's saying that he has other people who testify of him also.
So in other words, his testimony is not accepted if he testified about himself.
Well, I mean, listen.
You answer the question. You're spiritually discerned.
Are you
So answer.
So sure, I can give my interpretation of that scripture.
Are you spiritually discerned?
Listen. All I'm saying is that scripture, just like you, I have an understanding of it. You have an understanding of it. If you want, I can share with you my
Give
understanding.
me your understanding.
My understanding of it is that Jesus was saying that he doesn't just testify of himself. Other people testify of him also.
No, he didn't say that. Read what he says.
He didn't say that.
He
Sure,
says,
sure,
if I testify about myself, what does he say? If I testify about myself,
Yes.
my testimony is not true. This is John 5:31. What do you understand?
Well, I believe that what Jesus meant was that there are other people that testified of him.
He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that.
So don't tell me what he didn't say.
I'm just telling you my interpretation.
No, but you're adding things in this.
When you say I'm adding,
Yes, you are.
do you want? I can read it just like you, but I'm saying what I understand from it. So
What do you-
it's not that I'm adding.
Okay.
I'm not adding.
Okay, go on.
The text is intact. I'm not changing it.
So in
I'm
other
not
words-
subtracting from it.
in other-
I'm not adding from
okay.
it.
So in
I'm just
other
telling
words-
you what I understand from it.
Good. So in other words, you're saying, if Paul spoke about himself, testified about himself, just like Jesus, his testimony should not be accepted unless others say exactly as he says. Am I right? Based on your logic. Okay, then please explain it to me. I will understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Go on, explain it again.
Jesus Christ, he's always attested that people testify of him. People testify of him. He's saying that people testify of me, and I testify that I've been
He
sent.
didn't say that, but those are your words.
I'm paraphrasing. He didn't exactly say that.
Not even paraphrasing. You are adding things in there which are not even there.
You added things in where? What?
You said other people testify about him. That is not in the Bible.
When you say, are you talking about a specific scripture?
Can you read it
I gave you
again?
the scripture, John 5:31.
Now, are you talking about that scripture? Or are you talking about my interpretation of that scripture?
In this case, your interpretation.
Exactly. My interpretation of that scripture is not going to be is not going to be verbatim what that scripture is saying.
No, I'm not talking about better.
Yeah.
I'm saying
So-
you need to substantiate the extra bits you add in.
So what is the extra bits?
Or the extra bits you added in is unless other people testify about him.
No, but when listen, sorry, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
In fact, read it in context so you understand. And don't add things unnecessarily. Because Jesus said, unless he testifies about me, God Almighty testifies, then it is true.
You say add things. I'm definitely not adding.
You did?
I'm
It's on
just telling
camera.
you. I'm just telling you my interpretation.
No, but you added the bits
so
in there
it's clear.
without substantiation.
Sorry, can you show me the verse?
John 5:31.
After that, can we go back to the point about how a person who hasn't witnessed the event can testify about it? Because I want to know the answer to
Because
that.
they have no manuscripts, no eyewitnesses, no chain of narration, no chain of propagation, nothing at all. It's
what
all
he
based
said
on
was-
circular reasoning, what is in the Bible. And you know, even the Bibles today, there's no way it's not going to change tomorrow because they've been doing it for years.
So what he said was that if someone's not
The
present
King James
at the
Version,
event,
which you read, I believe, is in its 5th major edition today.
So
5th major, not minor.
So let's go back to the scripture.
What do you understand now, since you've read the context?
Sure.
Please explain it to us.
Sure, I'd love to. So Jesus Christ is talking about someone who's preceded him, someone who's come before him.
No, read it where he says that.
Sure. He says, if I testify about myself, my testimony is not true.
Read the next one.
There is another who testifies in my favor. So there is another who testifies about me in my favor, yeah? Correct? And I know that his testimony about me is true.
And who is that?
So someone else testified about Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ said his testimony about me is true.
Who is that other person?
Now, it says in the following scripture, it says, you have sent John, and he has testified to the truth. Yeah? Not that I can accept human testimony, but I mention it that you may be saved. John was a lamp that burnt and gave light, and you choose for a time to enjoy his light. So for me, for him, my understanding from this is that John was sent to testify of Jesus Christ before he came. And that's what he did. John the Baptist testified of Jesus Christ before he came. And Jesus Christ is saying, I testify that his testimony of me is true. And John had a testimony of Jesus Christ. St. Mark had a testimony of Jesus Christ. His other disciples, all his disciples had a testimony of Jesus Christ.
No. Luke wasn't a disciple. You should know that.
Luke wasn't a disciple, no.
Mark wasn't a disciple. Mark was not a disciple.
He was also a scribe.
Mark was not a disciple.
There's a difference between apostle and
I know,
disciple.
that's why I'm saying disciple.
Yeah.
Mark was not a disciple of Jesus. Do you agree?
So what is a disciple?
From the common understanding of the 12 disciples of Jesus, Mark and Luke were not one of them.
Correct.
Do you agree?
Correct.
Okay, so in other words, Mark and Luke, whatever they said, is not an eyewitness account. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so it is basically open to question whether that testimony is true.
Well, I mean, that's if they were the only gospels, maybe.
Well, the Gospels do differ. Do you know that?
Matthew was an eyewitness. Matthew was a disciple.
That's why I didn't mention Matthew and John.
Sure. But
Okay.
this is what
But
I'm
even
saying.
then-
But this is what I'm saying. Wait. And just coming off of that, Matthew was an eyewitness. For me, John was an eyewitness, even though we have our differences in opinion. And the other two scribes were scribes of the disciples.
Where's the evidence for that?
And that's what I
Whose
believe.
disciple was Mark?
I believe that they say that Mark was.
Don't say you believe. Unless you have evidence, please say it. Because you have been doing this throughout the discussion.
I can bring it
about the 70 AD, you haven't produced evidence.
Okay.
You keep saying I believe this, but without substantiating it, I cannot believe you anymore.
But this is what I'm saying.
What?
You guys have a huge emphasis on.
Here we go again.
No, but it's true.
Here we
It's
go
not
again.
true. You say, oh, because you haven't been giving me this proof, therefore I can't believe you, and I'm not interested. Christians don't believe spiritual things in this way.
But you
in
don't.
this way,
You
in this
couldn't even
way-
explain the
in this
spiritual
way,
things in the Bible.
You're subject to human error.
And so are you.
Now, absolutely.
Because you're saying this, you're saying this gospel which I read is exactly what Jesus said in there without evidence.
Wait a minute.
So in other words, in other words, if human error has crept in, you are somehow attributing that to Jesus.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Am I right?
So let's.
Am I right?
So let's explore that.
Explore it. Go on.
Okay, but show the contrary, that is not like this. Show.
The contrary is this. Look, if you write something, yes, say for example your birth certificate, and you lose your birth certificate, yes, which was originally given by the council or whatever it is, the authority. Now you don't have the original birth certificate, but you have made copies of it. Yes? But in order for you to take this photocopy into a government office and try to convince them that this is exactly the same as the original,
You need to attest it.
not only attest it, first question they're going to ask you is, where is the original? What are you going to say?
but
What are you going to say? You're going to say, I lost it.
Okay, but
Okay?
are we the government or they should?
No, I'm
take
telling you,
off?
I'm telling you how it works in real life.
given an
How
analogy.
people actually believe in certain
Can
things
be applied.
which are originals and which are copies. So even if it's a copy, like you rightly said, it should be attested. In other words, somebody else should have witnessed the original and said this is exactly as it is. And now I, as a person of authority, in other words, a solicitor or someone who has a notary, has a license to notarize things, he gives his stamp of approval. But you see, with the Bible, unfortunately, they don't have the original. They don't have the